In this video, I'm going to be ranking the best shooting guards right now in NBA 2K25 Myteam on a tier list here ranging from S that does go all the way down to D tier, and we have about 30-ish of the best shooting guard cards right now in Myteam, and I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below what shooting guards are you guys currently rocking on your guys' squad, and of course let me know what you guys would change about my tier list. But looking at the first shooting guard is going to be the Dark Matter Dr. J, and is Dr. J still a top 5 shooting guard? Because I only really want to have the top 5 shooting guards in this game in the S tier category. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't know if Dr. J is a top 5 shooting guard. So I think for me personally, again, I want to only have 5 cards in the S tier category. We only have about 30 cards on this tier list. I don't want to be throwing 7, 8 cards in the S tier category. Want to save that for the best of the best at that position. And I think Dr. J is really good, but I do think he needs his jump shot to be on a little bit quicker of a timing, whether it's quick or very quick for both the Dark Matter and the Pink Diamond. And then also, like, he doesn't have a dribble style, he doesn't have a size up. I know he has a really good behind the back, his movement is good in game, and his jump shot is still very nice. And I think Dr. J is still one of the best shooting guards on my team. But again, there's a couple flaws that he has that other shooting guards don't have. So I think for that specific reason, I'm going to keep both Dr. J's in the A tier category. But I think both those cards are amazing still shooting guards to this day in my team. Talking about Andrew Wiggins, I think this card is really good, but I do think he has a huge lack of offense when it comes to his dribbling animations. Now, this card is great defensively. He's also a great slashing card. He's 6'8" at shooting guard, 7-foot wingspan, amazing defender. Like I said, really good slashing card. But he doesn't have very many dribble sigs, and he also doesn't have like the greatest of jump shots in the world. It's definitely an okay jump shot, and his dribble sigs are kind of mid. So like if you're looking for a slashing and defensive card, Andrew Wiggins is your card. He is very good at doing both of those things. But I think in the grand scheme of things, when we're talking about, again, the top 30 shooting guards in my team, I don't know if Andrew Wiggins can go any higher than B tier. Talking about Galaxy Triple Nick Young, I think this card is great offensively. He does have a huge lack of defense. Like, he might be one of the worst defending cards on this entire tier list, but he does make up for it with his offense. He's 6'7" at shooting guard, 7-foot wingspan. But take a look at these offensive animations. He's got the Cameron Thomas base, which I'm starting to believe is the best base in the game this year. It is so money. He's also got the Benedict Mathurin upper, which is a very solid upper. He's got that on very quick. He doesn't have the Pro 2 fade, which is a little bit disappointing. I think that would have made this card a lot better offensively. He does have the Devin Booker dribble style, Curry size up, Kemba escape, and Jamal behind the back. So solid dribble sigs, really good jump shot, and good offensive stats and badges as well. Yes, this card could use a lot more defense, and I think if this card was good defensively and maybe had like the Garland dribble style, I think you could maybe put this card in the S tier category, but because of the lack of the defense and maybe a couple of dribble sigs are missing compared to the top shooting guards, I do think Nick Young is going to be in that sort of like high to mid A tier category. Talking about Dark Matter Kawhi, I do think he makes it into the top 5. I think Kawhi is better than Dr. J just as an all-around shooting guard, and for me personally, it's because Dr. J is maybe better offensively, but I think Kawhi is so much better defensively. 6'7" at shooting guard, 7'3" wingspan. That probably doesn't get talked about enough. Like, having that big of a wingspan is really nice to have for defense. And then obviously his defensive stats are damn near perfect. His badges are damn near perfect for defense. I also like his jump shot quite a bit, maybe not as much as Dr. J's, but I think it's a really good jump shot. And surprisingly enough, this card's actually got just as good or better movement than Dr. J in game. So you got a card that can move better than Dr. J or about the same. You got a card that maybe has a better jump shot, but is also way better defensively. So for me personally, I think Kawhi is going to be not that much better than Dr. J, but I do think he's slightly better enough to put him in a higher tier in the S tier category. Talking about Dark Matter George Gerving, I would strongly consider to put this card in A. I think he's better than Andrew Wiggins, in my personal opinion. I think he's just super well-rounded, 6'7" at shooting guard, 6'10" wingspan, just an amazing card all the way around. I like his jump shot. I think he's got solid dribble sigs. Like, Garland behind the back is really nice to have. I don't know. Like, I mean, I think he's either high B tier or I think he's low A tier. Maybe I can go high B tier for now, and I think I'll probably drop him down to high B, but I think he's kind of really in that conversation of low A tier or high B tier. Talking about Pink Diamond Rocco, I mean, is he still a B tier? Like, I think he still is a B tier shooting guard. I know it might sound crazy, but this card is so good defensively, and he's 6'9" at shooting guard. Like, 6'9" at shooting guard, 7'2" wingspan, elite level defender, really good Hall of Fame defensive badges. I like his jump shot. Maybe because of the dribble sigs, I put him in C tier. maybe, but it feels kind of low to have Roko in C. I think he's a lot better than a C tier card, so I do think he's probably going to be in B tier alongside Paul George and alongside Scottie Pippen. I think all three of these cards are sort of in the same tier in my personal opinion. I do think they're very, very good defensively. Paul George, I mean, when we get his Dark Matter, he is going to be absolutely unreal. Like a Dark Matter Paul George that can play shooting guard, I mean, he damn near might be a top 5 shooting guard in this game. If he gets 100 overall, he might be like a top 3 shooting guard in this entire game. So I do think all three of these cards are going to be in the B tier category. Talking about Dark Matter Brandon Roy, I think he's still super elite. I think, you know, his jump shot's really good. It's still one of the faster jump shots in this game. I think for me, he could be a little bit taller, only 6'6" at shooting guard with a 6'8" wingspan. And when I mean taller, like he doesn't have the best of player models. He seems a little bit smaller in game than 6'6". Seems more like 6'5" in my personal opinion. But this card, really good offensively. I think his dribble sigs could also be a lot better. Doesn't have the best movement in this world, but I do think because of his jump shot, his slashing ability, I think Brandon Roy is still an A tier shooting guard. Talking about Dark Matter Dr. J, I think he's great, but there's got to be some cards in C, right? I can't have every single card in the B tier category, but I do think Jalen Williams is actually very underrated. I think he's a good shooting guard, 6'5" at shooting guard, 7'2" wingspan is amazing. The defense is good, stats and badges wise. The jump shot's good. The pro fade, the pro 3 fade isn't as good as the pro 2 fade in my personal opinion, so I think that could potentially be better. I think his dribble sigs, besides the Darius Garland dribble style, are very mid, but I do think that Darius Garland dribble style is great. The jump shot's good. I think he's a great card, but he's only 6'5" at shooting guard. He has a couple flaws offensively with his dribbling animations and his movement. So again, gotta have some cards in C and D tier, and I do think all of the cards in B tier I would personally take over J-Dub. Talking about 100 overall Vince, I think he's most likely still S. I think he's probably like in the lowest S tier category personally, but I kind of go back and forth between who's better, him or Dr. J. I don't know, like, I mean, is Dr. J better than Vince? I think it's a very close conversation. Vince is 6'6" at shooting guard, 6'9" wingspan. Obviously, the stats and the badges are a lot better than Dr. J's. The jump shot, maybe better than Dr. J's. I think that definitely could be argued as well. He does have the Pro 2 fade, which is really nice. His dribbling animations are honestly mediocre. Like, I think he's probably just a better Brandon Roy, where they have really good jump shots. Like, him and Brandon Roy have really good releases, but kind of mediocre dribble sigs. But I do think obviously the defense is a lot better on Vince because of the stats, the badges all being 99 and pretty much maxed out. So I'm gonna go Vince Carter in that S tier category. Kevin Durant, I mean, I think clearly the best shooting guard in this game. He is just unbelievable, man. Like, do I even have to look at this card? Because I mean, he's an invincible, 99 stats. He has 12 legend badges, including tons on legend shooting badges, including Deadeye, Limitless Range, Post Fade Phenom, Set Shot Specialist, Shifty Shooter, Slippery Off Ball. He's even got, you know, Legend Ankle Assassin, Handles for Days, Unpluckable, Challenger. I mean, this card's 6'10" at shooting guard, 7'5" wingspan, has an elite level jump shot, elite level fade, Steve Francis size up, Garland dribble style, Curry escape, Trey behind the back. Like, it doesn't get much better than Kevin Durant's in this entire game, and I think at the shooting guard position is easily going to be in the S tier category. Talking about Galaxy Jason Richardson, I think he's still going to be in B tier. He's really good offensively because of his jump shot and his slashing, but his defense and his movement is a little bit to be worried about, so I do think he's a B tier shooting guard. Talking about Brandon Ingram, I think he's also in the B tier category. He's 6'10" at shooting guard, which is really nice. I do like his jump shot. I think Brandon Ingram is very underrated at the shooting guard position. Talking about Dark Matter Ron Artest, I think this is another card that is overhated a ton. I think Ron Artest is great defensively, and I think he's just a worse version of Kawhi, but is very similar to Kawhi at the shooting guard position. Talking about DeMar, I think he can be our first card in D tier. This DeMar card just really isn't all that great. I mean, his jump shot is pretty bad, like only on quick timing. Not a great jump shot. His dribbling animations are very mid. His defensive stats aren't that great. I mean, this card, honestly, for a Dark Matter shooting guard, is probably one of the worst in this game. I do think he's going to be in that D tier category. Talking about Galaxy Corver, I definitely like him a little bit more than DeMar. He's actually got a good jump shot. He's got okay movement. So I do think Kyle Korver is pretty good. I think he's going to be in that C tier category, though. I don't think he's as good as these shooting guards in the B tier category. Talking about 100 overall Clay, I think Clay is good, but I don't think he's an S tier shooting guard. Like, for me personally, I like Vince more, I like Kawhi more, and I obviously love Kevin Durant a lot more than Klay Thompson, but I will say Clay is probably up in the A tier category. I think he's a very good card for 100 overall. Maybe not worth it necessarily, but I do think he's still a great shooting guard. I think you got to put Clay somewhere in that high A tier category. Talking about Ray Allen, you guys know I hate this card. I mean, I seriously think he's one of the worst shooting guards in this game. Talking about Dark Matter Grant Hill, I think he's solid. I think he's better than DeMar and Ray Allen for sure, but I also don't think he's some like amazing card. So I do think he's going to be in that C tier category. Talking about Ricky Davis, I think a great shooting guard option. I would probably put him somewhere in that high B tier category. Maybe you could argue low A. I really like Ricky Davis, man. I mean, he could use a lot more movement. He has the Darius Garland dribble style, but besides that, they really didn't give him many other SIGs, which is definitely disappointing. Like normal size up, pro escape, Luka behind that back isn't great, but he has a really good jump shot. He's great stats and badges wise. He has the Garland dribble style, so I do think for those reasons, he's going to be in the B tier category. Talking about 100 overall Carmelo, I think he's a top 5 shooting guard, 100%. I think he's most likely the second best shooting. I know he's probably the third best shooting guard now, with obviously Tracy McGrady, who we're going to get in the S tier category. In my opinion, guys, these are the top 5 shooting guards in the game. And like I said, I only really want to have the top 5 cards at that position in the S tier category. So I don't want to include, you know, a Clay, include a Dr. J, include a, you know, Brandon Roy or Ron Artest. Like I want to just keep it to the top 5 shooting guards. And in my personal opinion, these are going to be the top 5. Talking about Jerry Stackhouse, I think this card's good, but I don't think he's as good as people are saying he is. I think he's great all the way around. He doesn't have really any flaws. So I do think for that reason, he's going to be in the low A tier category. Matt Barnes, he's good for a budget card, but I think just because of the lack of the offense besides his jump shot, he doesn't really have much movement, and he could also be better defensively. So I do think he's going to be in that high C tier. Talking about Amori Caspi, this card is insane. I think he's on the same level as Rocco. He's 6'9" at shooting guard with an elite level jump shot. He is so good for a card that's 5K, and I'm almost considering putting this card in A tier. 6'9" at shooting guard, maybe not the greatest stats and badge wise, but that jump shot is elite. He's also got like Trey Escape, Devin Booker dribble style. He's got really good movement in game for a card that's 6'9", but I do think Amori Caspi is going to be in B tier. And then the final shooting guard is going to be Caris LeVert. Just wanted to include him on this list because he's obviously one of the new cards in the Flash set, but I mean, realistically, this card is not that good besides the Pro 2 fade. So I do think Caris LeVert is going to be in that D tier category. And yeah, guys, that's going to do it for my shooting guard tier list. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this tier list. Let me know what you guys would change about it, all the type of stuff. And again, just to kind of talk about it once again, I do think for me personally, I only want to have the top 5 shooting guards in the S tier category. And in my opinion, these are the top 5. So only wanted to include 5. That's why maybe Dr. J, Clay, and those type of cards aren't in S. But let me know in the comment section down below overall about the tier list. Let me know what you guys think about it, what you guys would change, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.